Now it's time for the classroom. Advice on making gold via the auction house, professions, and more.
This is a tip that she has sent out to people, and yes, we have it too. It is 2 minutes and 53 seconds long, so enjoy, everybody.
Hey, this is the Gold Queen's Tips of the Week. It's that time in the expansion where players are getting bored with raiding. Sure, okay, we've got a few time fillers like the Headless Horseman, and we've got some time-walking dungeons, and there's always PvP, and there's always more Hellfire Citadel to raid. But now things are less hectic. Players are looking around for achievements that they've missed. They're looking at content they've missed and wanting to get them done. From a gold maker's perspective, it's time to also switch your attention to the same things. Sure, the old stuff is still working, there's still millions of gold to be made farming medallions of the Legion in Talan Jungle. From doing your daily garrison missions, from keeping up with your professions. Gold making is about mastering each step and then adding a new step. So you get your garrisons and shipyards running like clockwork, then it's time to work on your professions. If your professions are working, maybe it's time to try farming for some transmog gear, and so on. So today I'd like to offer up one idea of items that you can add to your daily routine that will sell now or soon. I'm talking pets, I'm talking archaeology. Now, any gold maker worth their salt already knows about pets, about buying low, selling high, finding them on the auction house, or sometimes purchasing them from vendors and then selling them on the auction house. So here are a few for you to research on Wowhead and the Undermine Journal and see how their prices are on your server. Harmonious Porcupet from the Timeless Isle, the Gulnean Raven, the Ancona Chicken from 1,000 Needles, the Tiny Goldfish from the Angler's Rep, Sentinel's Companion, the Spawn of Gnathus, that's G''Nathus, that's from North Traverse Isle in Pandaland, the Drenai Micro Defender, and the Frostwolf Pup. Okay, so that's tip 1 for the week. And tip 2 is archaeology keystones. Why archaeology? Because players now have flying and are finally able to get into Warlords of Draenor archaeology. Now you can either fly around yourself and farm these keystones and then sell them, or take the lazy way out, learn how much they sell for, and buy up any that are underpriced in the auction house. Look for these items in your auction house. Draenor Clan Orator Canes, Ogre Missives, and Arakoa Ciphers. Of these, a single Ogre Missive can sell for 400 to 500 gold. Okay, we're not talking about the high-priced medallion of the Legion here, but then again, your number of competitors is going to be much lower than with the Materna medallions. So check your auction house today to see if there are any underpriced and put them on your snatch list. Hope you enjoyed this week's Gold Queen's Gold Tips. Bye!
All right, Dead Greed, what do you think about archaeology?
Well, I know what I do is I run down there in that dusty spider-filled mine, and I get all those little carts, and you get all those little things from the carts, and I sell those. And I also get some from my, from doing missions. I haven't been flying around doing any. Of course, I haven't been playing, but I haven't been flying around getting those. But I know if I was on the lookout trying to like level up in archaeology or trying to get items, I would definitely be in the auction house trying to buy them.
Exactly, because she puts up a really good point. It really depends on competition. So if the competition's low and the demand is there, then that's an item that you should sell.
Well, that's why you got to go to the Undermine Journal and you got to look. You got to, before you start putting time into something, you got to go do your research. Go to the Undermine Journal, look, see what you want to sell. Say, is this item worth it? This is what I'm going to be selling my archaeology stones for. You know, check them out before you go out there and do it.
Exactly.
One thing I wanted to talk about that she was talking about here on her post.
Go for it.
She's talking about the Ghanaian Raven, and I don't know if you know how to get that or not.
Okay. So what do you think about that said raven?
That raven is awesome because Greed has a lot of worgans. Greed loves the worgen.
Greed's not the only one.
Alright, now listen up. Now you can only have 3 of these Ghanaian ravens, and Greed has
Right.
more than 3 worgans, and the only way to get a Ghanaian raven is to be a worgen and buy it from the vendor. And all the people who are not worgans are gonna pay dearly to get that raven.
Oh,
Because
boy.
that raven is a really good pet to battle with. He's one of the awesome, especially when you're out in Pandaria doing your leveling, trying to level other pets. The raven is awesome for that. And if you're not a worgen, you're gonna have to give Greed your money to get a raven, and that's what I love. I was thinking about maybe suggesting, if you don't have a raven and you don't want to buy one from the auction house, leveling a quick level up.
Yep.
But there's a problem. There's a problem.
Okay.
In order to get that raven, you have to get out of the starting zone. And I don't know if you've done a worgen lately, but oh my god, it takes forever to get out of that start zone.
Yeah, I remember Gilnean starting zone. It's
a little long, Blizzard.
It's just a little long.
Hey, Medicine, the worgen stone. Come on, let's shorten that up.
Yep. And Bordato's saying that Gold Queen has her worgen, and that's why she's a gold maker.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, I just want to give a quick shout out to the Gold Queen. She did an awesome job on that audio there. That was great.
And we do
Keep
hope to
sending
get
those
more.
in. Yeah, keep sending those in. I like that stuff. That's awesome.
Exactly. Now, she also did a post here about Fellwood.
Oh, Fellwood, what? You want me to fly to Fellwood?
Fellwood. There's a lot of different sets. Transmogs, rare mobs. Now,
It kind of sounds like the transmog market's kind of coming back a little bit now that that not so many people are in there smashing on those crates every 10 seconds.
yeah, I would kind of agree with that. It really depends on the server as to what she said. But she did highlight a couple things here. The Gossamer set, which she's got listed for 100 gold to 500 gold, and the robe 500 to 800 gold. So that could be something there. The Griffin Mail, 1,000 to 6,000 gold is what she found it. Tyrants, 1,000 to 3,000 gold, and Warbringers, 1,000 to 3,000 gold. So what do you think about those?
I've talked a lot about old world farming, and this goes along with that right there. I really like old world farming because there's so many people doing the newer stuff. You can get out there. There's not a lot of competition. You can get out there. You can use your flying and relax and just fly around and get your stuff. And I kind of like that.
Yeah, exactly. And she also talks about farming there itself, which is not a bad idea. Just kind of watch for your watch your markets there. For all the for the cloth and the leather and the ore and all that stuff.
I'll tell you what, that wild vine looks like it's going for a pretty good price.
Might be something to get. And she does have a few more pets there as well. A tainted moth, a beetle, tainted cockroach, tainted rat, mine or minfernal, and a toad. Unfortunately, they aren't cageable. But you can only sell the cageable ones.
Yeah, it's
So
yeah,
good luck to
you have
that.
be cageable.
And all the different patterns too, which could come in handy. Now, I think I'll skip that, leave that for next week. I did also see a post. What is your main source of gold? It is a straw poll, which I will put up in the show notes. So Dead Greed, what are your top 3 main sources of gold making right now? Just give me 3.
If I had to go off the top, I do so much different stuff. But if I had to go off of 3
I
main
know you
things,
do.
Farming ember silk and making bags. That is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Using my professions to make high-end gear, and just valve lights. Valve lights are awesome.
That I would agree. That I would agree. And you've heard me say it about the past month or 2 or 4.
Oh yeah.
Command table. So long as you have the right quests up, along with the right followers to do those quests. So that could make you a little bit of gold. Really, I would agree with professions. You know, especially if you have a disenchanter to disenchant those items. And because disenchanting helps out with bags, just saying, along with enchants for gear. And really, it depends on gathering, but I think depending on one server, gathering professions are also pretty good too.
I mean, yeah, I didn't even think about Garrison just because I haven't been hitting it hard since the nerf.
Yeah.
You know how it is, man. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Greed gets salty, and when you take the toys away from Greed,
You don't like it. Yeah. No,
yeah, I gotta run
gotcha.
home and cry to mom. Like, no, really? Why they? What? My mouth was, like I told you, when they nerfed those, I talked about it. When they nerfed that, man, my mouth was open and everything when they took that stuff away. I was just like, what?
Gone. Just gone. Yeah, I know when they nerfed the crates, I kind of felt the same way, but
Oh, it was crates. It was gold. It was there was two others too that I was just like devastated. Like, oh my god, like
crates,
Medicine,
mission tables. Yeah.
Medicine. Why? Why did you take my money away from me? No.
Yeah, that was a bad. It was crates. It wasn't just crates. Taking the grays away, the way that they did. It was crates taking or reducing the greens and the purples that you got, all the disenchantable stuff. Which, in a way, it was good. In a way, it was not. Really, in the way that it was good, it opened up bag space. But it still kind of reduced the gold making abilities in some ways, but not in every way. You just gotta, you just have to pay attention to what's going on. Definitely. Now, okay, anything else?
No, it's just When you were talking about that, it just reminded me of a video I seen of the Gold Queens where she was talking about back in the day. You get your instead of trying to auction your stuff you get from your crates. She was talking about vendoring it because it was you made more money and it was faster.
In some ways.
Yeah, I mean, in
It's
some
still-
cases, of course, you don't want to vendor everything, but I'm just saying, it was a great video anyway. But I just
Right.
when we were talking about that, it just came up in my head for some reason. But anyway,
Right, because you still have to pay attention to what people want to. So, some things you get from the crates could still be transmogs. I'm saying not so much. A lot of it depends on the item levels, so watch for your disenchants because, like what you said, Ember Silk bags do sell along with the current bags.
what's the best item you ever got out of a crate? Just whatever.
It had to be when the crate, when we first got the garrisons and we started getting crates. I think I got a purple current raid, or not current now, but current at the time raid piece. But I couldn't use it because I think it was leather or something. So I couldn't use it. But I tried to sell it, and eventually I did. Or no, it was an orb, I think. But anyway, it was a purple raid piece. I put it up on the auction house, and it didn't sell, but eventually it did sell after a certain amount of time. So, but that doesn't happen anymore. There are still some epic pieces, but not at the current eye level. Like I got one today that was item level 46. So, they're still out there.
Oh yeah. Best thing I ever got was a high mall pair of gloves that was male, and I am a mage, and I put them on the auction house. They sold like super quick. I sold them in one day, one post. I didn't have to repost them, and I remember I sold them for $45,500, and that's the best thing I ever got out of them crates.
Yep. Yeah. That was way back in the day.
Well, that was when High Mall was brand new.
Yeah,
and
I know.
I hadn't been 100, but just a few days, and I remember I got those gloves, and I was like, "Oh yes, gloves, awesome!" And I was like, "Hey, wait a minute, these aren't cloth. What am I supposed to do? Oh, what the heck?" And then I was like, "Well,
Find on equip. There you go. Sell them."
yeah." I mean, I bought a pair. I can't remember what I bought, but I bought some gear off of because I sold that piece for, and then I bought a piece of gear, and I don't even remember what I bought now. I think I bought my cloak or something. I don't remember. Yeah, it might have been my cloak because I had the legendary, and I still had the legendary, and I hadn't gotten an upgrade yet.
Yeah. Those were the days. We're not gonna see them again. But you know what? I'm fine
anyway,
with that.
I don't know.
I
I kind of got off on a. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. We got one last thing, actually two things to go over. Are you ready to announce what we're giving away for show 150?
I'm ready to announce the winner. Hashtag Greed wins.
Oh, hang on. We got to do this. Okay. There are already some entries for show 150. Okay. Now, one name, these are all by Twitter. The first one is Mayo Clavior, and he says, "Still don't have the gold to buy them myself." Medros from All Things Azeroth says, "Very intrigued. Hashtag greed loses out.
Oh, what? Greed loses? No, that guy can't win.
Rock Talk said, consider me entered. Geotris said, I'm ready to make some gold. Glidina _wow and Disney Girl both said, yes, please. Aralina _ROA said, hashtag sorry greed. And Glidina wow also said, yes, please. Alice Sunderson too via email, which is fine. Which, oh crap, we'll put her email in for next week. So we'll skip that. Yeah, we'll do that email next week. So yeah, so far you're kind of voted out 2-1.
2-1. Hey, look, I have 2 dogs, and they both count, and they're both voting for me, so that's 3-2, I think.
Okay, so anyway, we are going to be giving away the Spectral Tiger Cub as a pet. Note,
Yeah.
I have the card. And everybody that is in the live stream, there's the card. That's the one, Spectral Kitten. I'm going to keep the card, but I'll give you the code. And note, I did not scratch off the code yet. Aha! So you shall get the Spectral Tiger Cub. So what does a Spectral Tiger Cub go for in the auction house? According to the Undermine Journal, the median price is at 65,000 gold. Does that price look right to you? Do you think that's going? Do you think that's on the low end, in the middle, or on the high end?
I've seen them for 100K. I've seen them for 50. So I mean, that's a pretty good price, 65K. I mean, that's a lot of cheddar. Woohoo!
That is. And to me, it kind of smells more like a buyer's market than a seller's market, but still, that's a lot of gold. So, if you win and you decide to sell it, go for it. Do it.
Hey, I'm gonna put one rule here. If you win this thing and you sell it, I want a screenshot of the sale.
Put it up on Twitter so everybody can see it. Screenshot of the sell.
You ain't got to screenshot nobody's personal name or nothing who bought it. I'm just saying.
Right.
I just want to see you sell it. That'd be awesome for me.
Yep. And that can be done. That definitely can be done with the way that WoW is integrated with Twitter. The mount, I should say, that we're giving away is the Feldrake. Now, I'm a little bit nervous on this one because I have it in-game, so I do want to make sure that it's not a copy. If it does turn out to be a copy, I will look to get another one, and hopefully that if someone wants to wins that wants the Feldrake will still get the Feldrake. Okay, so the median price is 150,000 gold. Once again, is that high, low, or right about the middle for you?
I've seen them 125. I've never seen it 150 personally on my server. So I think that might be just a hair high, but I think you could get 150. But I also think that's going to be something. That's going to be something you're going to have to post a bunch of times. That's going to be a hard sell. I think you'd have a lot easier time selling the Spectral Tiger Cub because it's got a lot more popularity to it.
Right.
I think the Feldrake would be a little harder to sell, but I mean it's worth more. But I don't know. You might get 150 out of it. And if you do, that's two pats on the back for you, because that's awesome.
I think it is possible to get 150 out of it, mainly because of where we're at in the storyline. We're dealing with the Legion. Fellblood.
You know, I didn't think of that. That's a good point.
And the next expansion is named Legion. So a Felldrake, I think, is most appropriate. If you keep it, hey, fine. If you want to sell it, that's fine too. But, you know, one request. If you decide to keep the Tiger Cub, the Felldrake, whoever wins, please show us on Twitter, you on the mount, or you with that Tiger Cub. Doesn't have to be pet battling, just could be out roaming around, whatever. If you sell it, tell us how much you sold it for. Screenshot it. Definitely.
All right, people, it's time to end the podcast now. So, how can the players get a hold of you?
Purple's still playing, by the way.
Hey, you can find the show live at 3 p.m. on Channel 2, TuneIn, AlphaGeekRadio.com, and on the TuneIn app.
And you can find us live on BumbleBeeNet.com/live at 2:30 p.m. on Saturdays.
If you don't want to listen to us live because we're too awesome to be live, you can hear us on Stitcher, iTunes, and where other podcast apps are found. If you're on the site, you can go down there at the bottom and hit us up on SpeakPipe.
Yep. And you can find us on Twitter at YourWildMoney, Facebook YourWildMoneyCast, and on LinkedIn.com/n/YourWildMoney. You can find Lady Hava on Twitch.tv/Lady Hava, at Lady Hava on Twitter, and Lady Hava at YourWildMoney.com. You can also find Reckles on YouTube.com/WTBGoldWow, and at Ryan A. Eccles on Twitter.
You can find the glorious Dead Greed at Twitter at DeadGreed1812, and on Twitch if I ever start live streaming again.
Yeah.
Twitch TV/DeadGreed1812.
You can find me on YouTube.com/Joe Brums, at Joe Brums on Twitter, and Joe at YourWildMoney.com. You can also follow the network on Twitter at BumbleBeeNet, and you can support us on Patreon.com/BBNet if you want us to do more giveaways. In order to get in, as what we said before, it is on Twitter. Use the hashtag YWMTCG. And it's going to be a fun one to do.
Yeah, I mean, these prizes are great, so, if you're out there, you're listening to the show or whatever, throw you an entry in there. You might win.
Indeed. Purple's going to go down, too.
Uh-oh.
Yep, Purple just went down.
Pop, Purple.
Bye, Purple, you're dead. And he lost. He's out. So we'll talk to you next week during BlizzCon. Should be a really fun show.
Oh my God, BlizzCon, Lincoln Park, get your goat on.
Oh yes, indeed. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
This podcast recorded before a live internet audience. To learn how to listen and watch live, visit tunein.alphageekradio.com.
Or purple.